Jeff Kirkchen with Do What You Love, and we are with Kurt Busch. Thank you so much for joining the podcast. My first in-person guest, so if you're listening or you're watching, you might notice things look a little bit different for us.
Well, thank you. This is big, man.
This is huge. I mean, you will go down in
race
history.
winner here, South Point 400.
Yeah, tell us about that feeling. So you're born and raised in Las Vegas. You love it here, and you finally get your win at the South Point 400. Now, granted, no fans. How was that feeling?
The way that win encompassed the whole team and the feel from everything, everybody was there. Nobody was there, but everybody was there. And it was so much fun to bring the trophy back to South Point. I called Brendan Gong, hey, can you rope off an area where we can go and have a little party? And Mr. Gong shows up, Craig Q from Star Nursery, and a lot of my close friends from Vegas that had to watch it on TV. I know that they were there, but it was just neat to celebrate with them afterwards. But then now to come back as a race winner, I feel like I've already won before the race even started.
Well, it's cool because, NFL teams, not so much, but NBA, Major League Baseball, if you got Game 7 in your hometown, you're celebrating in your hometown. But for NASCAR, it's not the same.
It's a little different, but still, the playoff atmosphere and to win in this point in the season in September, it's very, very important. But then to have it be my hometown, oh, yeah. And this is something where the track kicked my butt for 20 years. Yeah. And it's great to be able to come out on top. Well,
you grew up with the track. You grew up with the bull ring. And for those who aren't racing fans who might be watching or listening to the podcast, the bull ring, they're breeding drivers. When did you first drive? Because I didn't drive till I was 16, and I knocked the side mirror off. And then I stopped for about 6 months, and then we went back for the permit. So when did you actually start driving?
My first ever race was the mechanics race when I was 16 years old. My dad let me drive his car. I, of course, wrecked it. And then he sent me on a road trip to go pick up a racing chassis, which I thought was to fix his wrecked car. Mm-hmm. And it was halfway built. And he goes, if you build this, you can race it.
No.
So my dad helped me build the car. I raced with my dad, and I was 16 years old, just as a hobby. It's just as fun. It wasn't set out to do when some kids jump into go-karts or quarter midgets at age 6, 7, 8 years old. I was 16 and I was just having fun.
That is so neat. So, you're one of those, I guess we could say, athlete celebrity couples in every sense of the word. Your wife's quite an athlete too.
Oh, yeah, she's a baller. She plays polo with the boys. I love to support her so much. Mm-hmm. She travels just like the NASCAR circuit with her horses, her team, and the different tournaments that she gets into. I love it because it's usually during the week when I'm not racing, and then she's able to help me with my racing on the side. It's a perfect relationship of working out together, nutrition, professionalism, and just the balance of life.
Well, somebody gets it. Somebody in your life gets at the age of social media, trying to be careful about what you say and what you post and what you do, because she also has her own career in this field that you got to be smart and careful. For you though, when I met my fiance, she's a pre-K teacher. She knows everything about kids. She's changed 1,000 diapers in her life. I've never held a baby before about a month ago when I became a godfather.
Got a lot to learn, okay?
So I know. So, for me, I had to meet her halfway. I had to learn about her life and learn about what she does. Were you a horseback rider at all before meeting her?
Not at all. I went to Bonnie Springs one time when I was a kid. Yeah. And I'm not a good horseback rider. English saddle is what the polo players use. And I put her in a go-kart, though. She has no skill. Put me on the saddle, no skill. So we can balance each other out. It's fun.
You guys find a middle ground?
Yeah. She goes, I don't like to do the go-kart thing.
Really?
And I don't like to do the horse thing.
Honey. I'll watch you. I'll support you from the distance.
I'll tell you 100% racing is safer than polo because of the roll cage, the helmet, the seat, all the safety equipment we have in NASCAR, way safer than playing polo.
Okay, that justifies my fear of getting on horses. And that's not just because I'm 5.5 feet tall.
You're fine. Okay, get out there.
I've been on a couple times. And
Live life. Go.
5.5 feet tall. I'm never meant to be higher than this, all right? Kurt, I know for a fact you're a big, big baseball fan. I grew up in a baseball household. I mean, my life surrounded baseball. For you, what's the one baseball stadium, Major League Park? Because it's unlike, I could make an argument for NASCAR. I think there's an art to every track. But NBA, NFL, fields are the same. You kind of walk in, the court's the same. But Major League Baseball is a different story. What's your favorite park?
I grew up here in Las Vegas. Mm-hmm. My family's from Chicago. and we had 4 TV stations when I was a kid, like ABC, NBC, something, and WGN. I'm a Cubs baby. I'm a Cubs. I'm like, the Cubs are on TV every day.
Yeah.
And when I went to Wrigley Field for my first time, I think I was 19 years old, kind of snuck into the bleachers and had a cold beer. It was incredible. Wrigley Field is by far the best ballpark in America.
There's something romantic about baseball. And I had the pleasure of being at Game 7 in Cleveland when the Cubs won the World Series for the first time in over 100 years.
That's big.
I bought a standing room only ticket, bought a beer, a Sprite, and a hot dog, and stood for 4.5 hours. And it was the best 4.5 hours of my life getting to watch live baseball.
Absolutely.
That.
I mean, Cubs winning the World Series 2016, it'll go down forever, right?
That is incredible.
Yeah.
I want to hear about the mariachi that you provided your brother. Now, I have an older sister, so our rivalry is a little bit different. She's also a graphic designer. I'm a radio guy, so we don't work in the same field necessarily.
Yeah.
But take us through the mindset here of the birthday present you got your younger brother.
So I think May 5th was going to be like a Thursday. He invited everybody to a big party. May 2nd, his birthday, was Sunday, the race. And I'm flying back with him. I'm going to surprise him. I'm going to like totally just ambush him at the airport with a mariachi band. Well, he wins. So now it's like 3 hours later, and he, shows up 3 hours late, but it was because he left me at the previous win when I had at Kentucky. It was perfect. He was totally surprised by it, didn't expect it, and I just wanted to throw him a little party, and then it's a win. So you get a mariachi band, a win, and total surprise.
So my fiance is half Mexican. We have our wedding coming up in April. And we went to a party, her grandmother's birthday party, and there was a mariachi band. And her dad comes up to me and says, "Do you want one of these at your wedding? Because I'll get one." And I had a couple drinks. I said, "Absolutely, I want one."
You didn't say that. You should say, "Sí, señor." Muchas gracias.
Right. Oh, I love it. Well, for you, kind of to wrap things up for you, I'm a local Vegas radio host. A lot of my friends come and visit and always ask me, "Hey, what's the one thing nobody knows to do in this city?" Everybody knows the clubs. Everybody knows the restaurants. They're all great. But the one best-kept secret Las Vegas has, away from racing. Sorry, I'm going to put your pressure on there.
Gosh,
away from racing, is there something that you're like, you got to check this out?
I grew up here in Vegas, and it's now, I think, a big staple that everybody wants to go to. That's because I've been promoting it. Chicago Joe's. 4th Street, Charleston, Italian restaurant. It's been there since the 70s. I grew up going there. Same family runs it. And the garlic smacks you in the face when you walk in the front door.
Oh, I got to go
check
that
to Chicago.
out.
You never been to Chicago Joe's?
I haven't been yet. I've been doing radio here 4 years.
Total secret.
Going right after this interview. Kurt Busch, everybody, thank you so much, brother.
Yes,
See, you don't know what to do in the COVID age.
Yeah.
You don't know what to do. Good luck in September. This podcast is going to come out literally right before the race.
Perfect.
That's the kind of whole setup plan. So thank you so much for taking some time for the podcast. My first in-person guest, because COVID,
let's do it. There we
office.
go. We can finish all like
Kurt
that.
Busch, everybody, thank you.